Have you ever wondered how an ancient story can still hold relevance in our modern lives? Let's journey back to a time of kings and kingdoms, to the tale of Belshazzar, a king whose story is as gripping today as it was thousands of years ago. Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, was a man of grandeur. He reveled in his victories, flaunted his wealth, and hosted extravagant feasts. Yet in one such feast, amidst the merriment and opulence, something extraordinary happened. A mysterious hand appeared, writing an indecipherable message on the palace wall. The king's joy turned to dread, his laughter to tremors. His mighty courtiers too were unable to interpret the cryptic words. In this state of panic, entered Daniel, a man of God, who could read the divine handwriting. But Daniel wasn't swayed by the king's promises of riches and power. Instead, he delivered a chilling prophecy to the king. He read aloud, "Mene, tekel, upharsin. God has numbered your kingdom and finished it. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians." Daniel pointed to Belshazzar's arrogance, his sacrilege in using holy vessels for his feast, and his idolatry as the reasons for this impending doom. Belshazzar had failed to glorify God, and thus, his kingdom was to be taken from him. Now you might wonder, why this story? What does an ancient king's tale have to do with us? Well, friends, it's not just about Belshazzar. It's about the choices he made, the path he chose, and the consequences he faced. It's a tale of pride and fall, of sacrilege and judgment. Belshazzar, a king at the height of power, met a tragic end due to his disregard for the divine. A potent warning, isn't it? But it's not just a cautionary tale. It's also a story of hope. Hope in the form of Daniel, who stood firm in his faith amidst chaos. And therein lies our challenge and our opportunity. As we navigate our own paths, may we learn from Belshazzar's tale and choose wisely. Now you might be thinking, what does this ancient tale have to do with us today? Well, friends, that's a good question, and I'm glad you're asking it. Just as Belshazzar's Babylon reveled in its achievements, flaunted its wealth, and disregarded the sacred, so too does our modern world often mirror these same behaviors. We live in a time where achievements are often celebrated above all else, where wealth is showcased and worshipped, and where the sacred can be overlooked or even mocked. We too, like Belshazzar, can be guilty of pride, of failing to glorify God, of turning to other sources for guidance instead of the divine. We may not see a mysterious hand writing on our walls, but the parallels between Belshazzar's time and ours are striking. And just as it was for Belshazzar, judgment looms over us. God weighs our actions, our love, and the opportunities we've been given. He sees when we celebrate our own achievements while neglecting the sacred. He sees when we fail to glorify Him. And just as with Belshazzar, he offers us a chance for repentance. But friends, this isn't a message of doom and gloom. Rather, it's a call to reflection, to repentance, to turning back to God. It's a reminder that in the midst of judgment, there's an offer of salvation. Just as Daniel stood firm amidst the chaos of Belshazzar's feast, we too can find stability and redemption in embracing repentance and accepting Jesus. We too can turn our pride into humility, our fear into faith. So let's take a moment today to reflect on our own lives. Are we celebrating our own achievements while neglecting the sacred? Are we failing to glorify God? If so, let's take this opportunity to seek forgiveness, to turn back to Him, to accept the salvation He offers us through Christ. The story of Belshazzar isn't just an ancient anecdote, it's a poignant reminder of our need for repentance. Let's heed the warning of Belshazzar's tale. Let's examine our lives, seek repentance, and accept the forgiveness offered through Christ. Let's turn our glory to humility, our fear to faith, and our judgment to salvation. In the face of judgment, where do we find hope? It's an age-old question that finds its answer in the love and grace of God, offered to us through Christ. We may see ourselves mirrored in Belshazzar, celebrating our achievements, neglecting the sacred, and failing to glorify God. But unlike Belshazzar, we have the opportunity to recognize our shortcomings, seek forgiveness, and turn to God for salvation. In the midst of judgment, there's an offer of salvation. Just as Daniel stood firm amidst chaos, we too can find stability and redemption in embracing repentance and accepting Jesus. It's about examining our lives, acknowledging where we've fallen short, and seeking God's forgiveness wholeheartedly. Today, let's make a conscious choice to transform our lives. Let's turn our glory to humility, our fear to faith, and our judgment to salvation. Like Belshazzar, we too have the chance to turn our glory to humility, our fear to faith, and our judgment to salvation. Let's heed the warning of Belshazzar's tale today.